Hello and welcome to Sarah's Tarot. Here is your weekend guidance for Friday the 8th, Saturday the 9th and Sunday the 10th of February. And I have two decks for you to choose from, both vintage decks which I used on Monday. And if you decide which you feel drawn to, I'll then shuffle the cards and we'll see what your messages are for the next few days. Okay, so for those of you drawn to deck 1, let's take a look at what your messages are for this weekend. I do love this deck. The cardstock is so different for the vintage decks and they're not quite as easy to shuffle, but I love their energy. And for those of you who would like to subscribe, you can do so below by clicking on the subscribe button, and if you click the little bell next to it, then you'll be notified when I upload videos in the future. Okay, so I think that's enough for today. Let's have a look at your reading. Now these cards are all in French, so I pretty much have to go by the illustrations as to what cards they are. So let's have a look at Friday's cards. Okay, so here we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so this is a day for practicalities. So Friday you may find yourself concerned with money and financial issues. Now that will be with regard to looking at the future, I feel. And it may be that you're needing to make certain sacrifices at the moment and thinking about how you can budget wisely for the long term. You know, perhaps you're thinking about putting some money away. Maybe some of you are getting paid this weekend. And I feel as if it's been a very long month. And it's kind of made you feel as if you need to get a hold on your finances. So yeah, Friday is very much concerned with your resources and issues surrounding that. And as I said, you may have to decide on your priorities and what you want to sacrifice, because the Queen of Pentacles is a lady who relates to earth signs, Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn, and she has a wonderful grounded reality about her. So there may be things that kind of dawn on you on Friday. You know, perhaps you spent a lot out over Christmas and the New Year, and now you're realising that in order to be secure in the future, as the Knight of Pentacles would sort of be focusing on, in order to feel secure in that way, that you need to budget and make certain sacrifices right now. And Friday will be a day for you to focus on those issues. And then Saturday we have another pentacle. We have the Page this time. But we also have the, let's have a look, it's the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands relates to burden, it relates to responsibility, and the Page of Pentacles is kind of about responsibility, but in a kind of different way. So let's have a look at these two cards together. The Ten of Wands tells me that Saturday you will find that you have a lot to be getting on with. It may be there's a lot to do in the house, perhaps you're busy shopping. There's all sorts of things that you'll be catching up with on Saturday. And I feel as if something new may step in and add to what is already perhaps a bit of an overload for you. So I feel you need to be prepared on Saturday to set some boundaries, especially if people are piling the pressure on, because there's only so much you can do, especially in one day. And I feel you need a bit of a break on Saturday, so take some time out if you can. But yeah, there is something new coming in, and I feel it's to do with some kind of responsibility. And as I say, you're only human, so do be careful not to overwhelm yourself. And that is on Saturday. And then Sunday, we have the 9 of Wands and the 8 of Wands. Wow. So all the wands are out today, aren't they? This weekend, aren't they? So we have the 9 and the 8. Okay. So Sunday, you may hear some news. And I feel as if your Sunday, just as Saturday will be, is going to be quite busy. So it's a busy weekend, I feel, coming up. There's certainly plenty of action, and it may feel as if you're under pressure. So do take a step back, as I said, whether that's Saturday or Sunday. Don't allow things to overwhelm you, because it may feel as if it's one thing after another, especially with this 9 of Wands, And some of you may feel like throwing in the towel, just giving up on things on Sunday. You may feel as if you just want to have a rest, and all it is busy, busy, busy. Sunday years ago used to be a day where you could wind down and slow down and everything else, but now it's non-stop, isn't it? It's 7 days a week, and we need to bring this back, bring our beautiful Sundays back, where we could have a rest and put our feet up a bit, but somehow I don't feel you're going to get much of a chance to do that this weekend, and even on Sunday. But it may be that you need to carve out some time and make sure you are able to have a bit of a rest. Okay, so don't allow anyone to put too much on your shoulders this weekend, Because, here we have on Friday this Queen of Pentacles, and as we go, that's Friday evening, this energy, the energy of this lady, she is a wonderful woman who will make sure that others are happy before herself, And what I want to say is, with this energy, you have to remind yourself you're also important. So, as I say, a very busy weekend overall. And, it's about basically drawing some boundaries and making sure that it doesn't become too much, okay? Take some time for yourself this weekend. And that is, for those of you drawn to deck 1, I'll now take a look at deck 2. So let's see what your reading is for this weekend. Okay, so this is another lovely vintage deck, which I've owned for a number of years now. It's the Rider-Waite deck, and one of my go-to decks. Okay, so if you'd like to subscribe, you can do so by clicking on the button below, and if you click on the little bell, you'll be notified of videos that are coming up. Okay, so let's have a look at your reading for this weekend. Yes, I've got the deck round the wrong way. I don't really tend to read reversals as such, unless perhaps there's 1 or 2 in a reading, and then I may do. If it sort of stands out to me. So So let's have a look at what's coming up for you over the next couple of days then. Okay, so let's have a look. We have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups for Friday. So an emotional start to the weekend on Friday. Now this could be your boss, it could be your partner or someone who's perhaps in the family, maybe a family member here. And what I want to say is, there could for some of you be some sort of emotional upset. And the reason I say that is because the Queen of Cups is looking away from him, isn't she? And the King of Cups is kind of looking away as well. She has her back to him. So there may be a bit of a falling out here, or perhaps a disagreement. And, you know, the Cups people do tend to get quite emotional, quite upset. They are very sensitive. They relate to Pisces, water signs Pisces, Cancer and Scorpio. And for those of you who are of that star sign or know anyone of that star sign, you will know that there is a deep well of emotion within the water signs. And when they get upset, you know, they really feel it. So it may be that Friday there is some kind of upset between you and someone else. They don't have to, of course, be water signs, but if they're not, then they will have sort of that level of sensitivity on Friday. And, you know, whether you're male or female, this appears to be a bit of a standoff here between the two of you. And for some of you, you may be distancing yourself from someone on Friday, okay, for some reason. And as I say, it could be someone at work, it could be someone at home. But yeah, I feel as if this will pass. It's just one of those days where emotions are a little bit highly charged. Perhaps it's the after effects of this lunar eclipse that we've had this week, where we were feeling kind of sensitive, extra sensitive, but it's something that will pass. So try not to get too down about it if there is some kind of disagreement or upset or falling out between you and someone else, or if you're just simply upset with someone, okay, it will pass. And Saturday we have the Strength card and we have the Two of Pentacles. So we're talking about a day where you will need to tap into your inner strength and your resources. You know, I feel there will be a lot for you to juggle on Saturday. So it's about prioritising and realising that no matter what you have to get through on Saturday, you can achieve it, okay? The Strength card assures you of that. You can see this lady taming the lion, you know. She's very strong, very self-assured and very self-reliant as well. So this is how she gets through her day, her life. And that's the message for you on Saturday, for those of you drawn to set 2, to deck 2 rather. The Two of Pentacles indicates you will need to prioritise with whatever you have to deal with on Saturday. And I feel there will be a lot of toing and froing, coming and going. But if you tap into this strength, you will find a way of balancing everything. So it's about balance on Saturday, really. Balance and patience and perseverance. No matter what you're facing when you wake up Saturday, just realise that you are capable of getting through it, okay? And by the end of the day, things should feel a lot better, okay? So even if you do wake up and feel, oh, I've got so much to do today, I don't know how I'm going to get it done. You will get through this. You are able to deal with matters and whatever you have on your plate on Saturday. And then on Sunday you have the Eight of Swords and the Fool card. So I do feel that you'll be feeling as if you want to kind of break free of something. Some of you may be feeling stuck, a little bit trapped, a little bit fed up with the status quo. Maybe you're stuck indoors. Maybe you've been stuck indoors for most of the month. You know, it's cold outside. Christmas, New Year's expensive. You know, there's not a lot of money around for people. And we do tend to become a little isolated and stuck within four walls. And there will be this feeling and need to just get out and breathe the fresh air. Almost as if you know, you want to shut the door and run away. Feeling. But do you know what? You are not as stuck or trapped as you may be feeling. All right. And please stop worrying, because the Fool card indicates that you can step out into the world if you want to. This lady here, she appears bound, but actually these swords are simply placed around her. She could slip out of this rope or whatever it is that's holding her quite easily. And if she were to take this blindfold off, she would see that there's a whole world out there, okay? So this is about looking ahead now and staying positive and realising that even if life is difficult at the moment, even if you are sort of chained to the kitchen sink or stuck in a situation you don't want to be in, things can change in a moment, and they can change if you believe as well and start making positive moves towards this freedom that you yearn for, this life that you yearn for, okay? And that is Sunday's message for you. So overall, basically, this is a weekend where there will be some emotional sensitivity, perhaps between you and someone who is close to you or a boss. But, you know, as the weekend progresses, you will be feeling a lot stronger. And there will be a matter of balancing your priorities, especially on Saturday. And then Sunday, it's about realising that you can break free of any oppression or limitations on you. You're not as stuck as you feel you are, and, you know, or you're not as stuck as you imagine yourself to be, okay? And that is your weekend guidance, and I will be back